What's up guys, Balmont here. So Capcom has just released Capcom Fighting Collection, which contains a very robust selection of fighting games, including Red Earth, which is available on consoles for the first time ever. This collection is pure gold, so let's get going because I have a lot to tell you about this package. Let's hit it! Right out of the gates, I want to address the white elephant in the room. Yes, half of this collection is made up of Darkstalkers titles. Now, this may seem weird, lazy, or even redundant to some of you, but if you grew up during the times those games were actually released, then you will remember that, going to the arcades and playing the newest Darkstalkers game, seeing what changed, what new mechanics were added, what moves were different, was really good. And trust me, you will find several differences here, so much that, hey, some people would still rather Street Fighter 2, the original game, over, let's say, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So yeah, I'm glad we got such a wide Darkstalker selection. Now, moving on, we also have Hyper Street Fighter Anniversary Edition. And I absolutely adore this game. I really think you should check it out because it brings many different versions of every single character. So hey, you want to play a Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition of Ryu? Go ahead. The classic Guile? No problem. And up next, we have a very interesting addition to this collection, which is Pocket Fighters. The American version is called Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix, but I grew up with a Japanese copy of it, so yeah, it's always going to be called Pocket Fighters for me. And you see, Pocket Fighters is my type of spin-off title. Because yes, while it certainly brings key characters from other fighting franchises, and of course bears similarities to them, can pull special moves and all that signature special moves, it puts its own spin into the gameplay. In here, you only have 2 attack buttons and a special attack button. Not only comboing has become more streamlined, but also it puts out all sorts of fun, different things for you to see. Chun-Li, she's gonna become Jill, she's gonna dress up as, I think it was called June from Star Gladiators. Let me know if I got her name right. I'm pretty sure it was June, but hey, it's been a long time. And every single character brings out something really cool for you to see. Now, don't be mistaken, this isn't a game for kids in itself. Surely it's much more accessible than a standard, let's say, Super Street Fighter 2 would be. However, there's still a lot of depth, there's still a lot of fun to be had for players all ages. And as you fight, you'll see a lot of gems dropping on screen, and depending on the color of the gem you pick up, you will begin leveling up your own special attacks. So there's that added element of, I'm gonna say, very simple but extremely fun and highly effective character development. So yes, check it out. Next up, we have one of my favorite entries in this collection, Cyberbots Full Metal Madness. This one was made for anime mecha fans, but that's not all there is to it. Even if you never watched a mecha anime before, you will get a lot for this game because you see, you have different models that you can pilot, but also within those different models, there are different variations, and they all play very differently from one another. And on top of that, you get to pick different pilots as well. And hey, Bloodia, does that name ring any bells? Yes, it's piloted by Jin, the same Jin from Marvel vs. Capcom. This is where he first appeared. Pretty cool, huh? With different buttons for center attacks, gun attacks, and dashing. This game's combat style will be a little bit unorthodox at first, but trust me, if you put in just a little bit of time, you will be dishing out a lot of damage in no time and look very stylish while doing so. Are you enjoying this video so far? Because if you are, then I ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel because I really need your help to keep on growing. It's fast, it's free, and it helps me tremendously. So, go ahead. As for the next title, it's a little bit of a oddball. Some would actually argue that it shouldn't be here, but in my book, I think it's okay for this title to be here. I see it as a very fine bonus. I'm talking about Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. This one actually came out before Pocket Fighters, and it plays out like a standard puzzle game. Now, don't let this put you off, okay? It was done so, the graphical aspect, the gameplay, everything is so involving that even if you're not the puzzle type of guy like me, I am not, you'll still have many hours of fun with this time. And lastly, in the game selection department, because we still have a couple of things to discuss after that, we have Red Earth, which is a fighting game that was made using the CPS3. And it's a little bit of an oddball because, yes, while it certainly is a fighting game, it's a boss-oriented fighting game, so to speak, and you have a character progression system. Not only that, but you also got a passcode system for you to use on the arcades, so you could keep your progress and come back to it later. I think the best way to describe Red Earth would be a fighting game with adventure game elements, and this is the first time this game is made available on home consoles. I don't know why Capcom didn't do this sooner, but hey, it's here now, so if you want to go for a very interesting game that chances are you've never played before, then here it is for you. And of course, I know that, to all you fighting game heads over there, I think the greatest addition in this collection is without a doubt the online mode. Because you see, if you were around during the time those games were actually released and you got yourself a home copy of titles in this collection, then you will remember that, yes, playing them at home by yourself or maybe with your brother, your father, your mother, whoever it was that gamed in your household was really good. But even if you held those in-game house slugfests against your friends, invite them for a sleepover, there was only so many people that actually get to play against. Now, you can play against the whole world. How cool is that? And in my book, that old adage remains truthful. If you want to get better at something, then one of the best ways to do it is facing off against someone who's actually better than you. And lastly, on the extra side, you have an extensive visual collection. You have illustrations from all games, including some early sketches of concept arts. You have, I don't know how to call them, but they're outlines for special moves. You can see keyframes here and there. Of course, the instructions are in Japanese. After all, Capcom is a Japanese company, hey? But it's all very interesting, if you enjoy seeing the inner workings of things, even if you don't understand anything of Japanese, spending at least a couple of minutes in the gallery is really, really good. And also, you will be getting a sound test mode. Actually, it's a music gallery in which you can listen to every single track contained in all of those games, and to me, that is gold. Even though you may not find yourself visiting this gallery way too oftenly, but it's still a nice addition. It shows that they did care about making a solid collection, a respectable collection, that's up to nowadays standards. So yeah, I do recommend playing this. If you're a fighting game enthusiast, then I think this should definitely be in your collection. But now, if you're just a casual gamer, maybe the fact that half of this collection is made up of Dark Souls, Jesus, of Darkstalkers games, I'm sorry, maybe it'll pull you off. So you're gonna have to see what works for you and what doesn't, but in my opinion, in my book, this is a very solid collection. This is something I myself am gonna be playing for quite a long time, as limited as my time is nowadays. And hey, if you enjoy my content, then make sure to check out our members section. You can become a member and support us more directly, so you can keep this channel going, so I can fund further projects, so I can dedicate myself even more to making more videos like this. All you have to do is just click the blue button below this video, alright? So this was your man Belmont speaking to you, and I'll see you next round. Now get out there and show them what you're made of.